Well, as we near the midpoint of the season, the Denver Broncos are starting to look like the contender that many people thought they were going to be heading into the year. It was a slow start for the Broncos this season, 2-3 through 5 games, and they were down 24-0 at half to the San Diego Chargers in their 6th game. It looked like the Broncos were about to go 2-4, and then some major questions would have started about this team. But the last 6 quarters of football, they've been absolutely dominant, coming from behind and beating San Diego in that Monday night game, and then last week, really dominating the New Orleans Saints, just outclassed the Saints on both sides of the ball. So now the Broncos sit at 4-3. They're the clear-cut favorites in the AFC West. This week they go on the road to play the Cincinnati Bengals, who have lost 3 straight games. Denver is installed as a 3.5-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ. 47 is the total. And if Denver is the team that a lot of people think they are, if they are the contending team, the team that should be among the favorites in the AFC, then they should and will win this game in Cincinnati. Because the Bengals, we mentioned, losers of 3 in a row, but their problems from a bettor's perspective really go beyond this season. They're 3-4 this season, but this team has been really overvalued ever since the middle of last season. You remember last year the Bengals got off to an excellent start, really surprised everybody, won 6 out of the first 8 games behind rookie quarterback Andy Dalton. They were 6-2 at that point, 7-1 against the spread. Since then, Cincinnati has been a terrible team to back. Over the last 16 games, remember that's the last 8 games, the last regular season, the playoff game last year, and the first 7 games of this year. Over the last 16 games, Cincinnati is only 3-10-3 against the number. They've only covered 3 times in their last 16 games. So clearly, people just think this Bengals team is better than they actually are recently. Which brings me to the line in this game. Denver minus 3.5. They're a short favorite here. This feels like an easy, almost a no-brainer Denver play. I mean, the Denver team that I saw last week and in the second half of that San Diego game, they look just about as good as any team in the league. We mentioned the Bengals have been struggling. But I'll tell you what, I don't like the betting patterns of this game. I don't like the feel of this game, or at least from a Denver perspective, I don't like the feel of this game. Out in Las Vegas, this is the 2nd most popular public bet of the week. Only the Ravens, who are short road favorites over the Cleveland Browns, are getting more public action this week than the Denver Broncos. That is enough to scare me a little bit. Usually in sports gambling, when the whole world is on one side, you want to take a good hard look at that other side. Now, you know, it's tough really to come up with a good Cleveland argument here. They have lost 3 straight. Now they're coming off a bye, so you could say, well, situationally, Cleveland is coming off a bye. They were a good team last year. They made the playoffs. They're playing at home. This is a big game for them. Good situation for them to come out and surprise some people and beat Denver. But fact of the matter is, since Marvin Lewis has been the head coach of Cincinnati, they haven't been very good after a bye. Only 4-9 against the spread their last 13 games after a bye. So aside from the betting patterns, the public pouring on Denver here, you know, there's really not a whole lot that would lead you toward a Cincinnati play. And I do lean towards Denver in this game, but I tell you what, I feel funny about this game. I'm not very confident about a Denver play here. And a bet I like a little bit more is the over, 47 the total in this game. And Cincinnati, even though they've struggled a little bit the last couple of weeks offensively, or they had a bye last week, in their last game they struggled offensively, throughout most of the year this team has been in the top 10 in the league in terms of total offense. So they can do some things on offense. A.J. Green, one of the best young wide receivers in the game. I do expect Cincinnati to score some points in this game. And Denver's offense, as you know, Peyton Manning, AFC Offensive Player of the Week last year, he is starting to look just like the Peyton Manning of old. And over the last 6 quarters, this Denver offense has looked pretty much like that Indianapolis offense that we saw just dominate the AFC for a decade or more. So expect to see a lot of scoring in this game. I do lean towards over 47. I guess I expect Denver to win the game. They should win the game, again, if they're the Broncos team that we all think they are now. But I don't know. Something about this one feels kind of funny. Keep a close eye on this game on Sunday.